Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Hannah. Thank you so much. Um, there are concerns in our community that there is a massive crisis brewing for people who do not have FEMA housing, temporary housing. On Monday, I profiled Anva Terrain Hensley's story and her 81-year-old mom who are living at the Quality Inn in Black Mountain. And she says she was on the phone for 3 hours, could not get a FEMA rep. They are begging for help. While they are safe in that motel, they haven't, according to what they've told me, said that FEMA has given them any information about any kind of trailer that they might be able to get. And there is reporting that's going on right now that FEMA only has 27 trailers in this area. I know that in recent weeks we reported there were just 14 in the area. What is the status on FEMA bringing trailers to our community amid these growing concerns that people in frigid temperatures could be out of luck with housing for the winter?
No, that's such a great question. And I know that we're very much working with the county and the city, as well as the municipalities on this particular issue. I know we're having multiple meetings each day, not just with our internal group, but also with our FEMA staff back at Hickory, as well as headquarters. So we're very well aware of the challenges in front of us. I can say a couple of things. So the first is that we do have more than 1,000 people in Buncombe County right now who are being sheltered in our transitional sheltering assistance program, just like you mentioned, in hotels. And the primary reason for that is because we want people to have safe and sanitary place to stay. That is what we are going to continue to do so that, especially as people are facing the winter and there are housing uncertainties, we want to make sure that they have someplace that's warm, safe, and sanitary. So we have our transitional sheltering assistance program. As people are in that program, though, we are working with them on a case-by-case basis about what their longer-term solutions might look like. So there are a number of different programs that are available with FEMA. One of the programs, of course, is to help with repairing a home. We can offer financial assistance that way. We can also help with rental assistance. I know that we've been talking about that before, but for example, if somebody says, I need help with paying my rent or finding a rental location, we can provide some assistance that way. And then, as you mentioned, there are other kind of programs, for example, matching up disaster survivors with the mobile units. So the mobile units are in the process, just like you mentioned, we started at 14 and now we're at 27. We do understand that that doesn't necessarily match the need right now. However, we are working very hard, not only to place mobile units as feasible on private property, but more importantly, putting them into commercial parks that are already set up with like utilities. They already have pads available for units to be installed in a much quicker way. So we're working with the county on that, and we're also matching up individuals who are interested in that program. So along the lines of all of those programs, though, that are available is that one-on-one connection. And so just like you mentioned, the 1-800 number, that can be frustrating, but we encourage individuals to continue to stay in touch with FEMA, keep their applications updated, keep us updated about their current needs, either by calling, either by going to the website, or as I mentioned before, if it's possible, if it's feasible, I know it's not feasible for everybody, but if possible, going to a disaster recovery center. We've got the disaster recovery center at the Asheville Mall right now. And then, of course, we've got these mobile units that are going around to the other areas in the county.
What is this situation with the building of the trailers? We would be grateful if FEMA could be very transparent about what the progress is. Are these having to be built? Why is there such a delay? Why is there only 27 trailers here and going into winter?
Well, I would say the first point is that the individuals that have expressed to us that they have a need are in safe and sanitary housing right now. We have put them into hotels, or we've identified other options for them, and that is our utmost priority right now. As we look at bringing in mobile units, there are a number of different complicating factors. So, for example, Siting a mobile unit on a private property has a lot to do with, for example, topography. Here in Buncombe County, we've got a lot of mountains. You've got a lot of considerations, not just with where is it to actually put the unit, but then also hooking up utilities, making sure the electrical lines, the plumbing lines, everything is good to go and it's safe for a family to stay in. And then in addition, we have some of the same considerations putting them into commercial parks. We want to make sure that we do due diligence so that as we place families into these units, they are a place where they can continue on their recovery journey over the next months and especially the winter time.
And just, I'm sorry, one more question. There seems to be a lack of staffing for FEMA. We have received multiple press releases and the attachments basically are saying we are hiring, we are hiring. Is the fact that someone like the woman that I profiled, Anva Terrain Hensley, who says she has called FEMA trying to get information and no one has called her back. She was on the phone 3 hours. Are you struggling with staffing? Because another story is reporting that Cotton Logistics, that was a federal contractor, started tearing down their employee housing in Candler before Thanksgiving and that they have now left.
Oh, no, that's a great question. So the responder housing or the responder lodging facility that was that you're referencing, the Candler Village responder lodging facility, that was housing only responders. However, the intention of closing that down was so that we could support the local economy and get those responders into hotels at government rates. We heard very loud and clear from the local economic community, the business community, that they would appreciate support during this tourism season. And so the decision was made in conjunction, with the state and our other partners that we want to support the community right now. We want to do everything that we can to boost business in whatever way that we can. And so as emergency responders, we're able to come in and pay a government rate for hotels, but then also foods, restaurants, rental cars, other ways in which we can support the economy during this time. So the closure of that facility did not have anything to do with a decrease in the responder staff supporting this particular disaster. It had everything to do with being good partners here in this community.